Hey friends, Michelle here from Sensate Soul and the Soul Translator, and as well now, Soul Pores. So I wanted to put this video together and send it to you all as a little check-in, because I know I've been pretty MIA on my YouTube channel. I would say pretty much since COVID changed the world for all of us. And I'm going to say all as a huge generalization, because if you're alive, you are affected by 2020 and this year. So I want to share with you today something that is incredibly near and dear to my heart. And the reason also I want to share it with you on this channel, even though my channel here is not necessarily about art and creativity, we are, as sensitives and HSPs, most of us are highly creative beings. And I would say everybody is a creative soul. And adding that to us in particular, who call ourselves and who are highly sensitive, we have a I would say an energetic predisposition to creativity, because we are ones who really pay attention quite closely to details, right? Excuse the sound here. I've got an AC. It's pretty hot today, as you can tell, my little schwitzy, because I'm down in my makeshift studio in my garage here. But I've got a water heater running over there, and I've got an AC running over there. In fact, I'm going to go close that. So we only have one competing noise. So getting back to the sensitivity and creativity, creativity has always been a really big part of what I do and who I am. And honestly, it was the thing when I was young that one of the things, it was either being an artist through dance or artistry, applied artistry, animals, and helping people love who they are and that they get to be on this incredible planet. Those were like my three, and nature, of course, is all mixed in there. Those were my 3 or 4 like top yeses. Yay, that turned off. Good timing. Thank you. So, and I've done a lot of creative things in my life, and I have helped, coached, and counseled, and as well worked in brands and in many different levels. I've worked with artists in one form or another most of my life, and I've always had that like, wow, if only I could too, And creativity has always been a big part of my brands, and you probably already know that. Being connected. If you don't know that, there we go. Now you do. So, and let me get really transparent here with you. Not that I hide stuff, because I'm usually pretty hard on my sleeve, even on my public channel here. But when I got back from COVID changes, my son and I actually were traveling, and we were in New Zealand, and then we were in Ireland, and then when we were in Ireland in the first week there, the travel ban and everything was like, oh boy, things are shifting. And there were some things that were going on in my family that needed to be attended to, some emergency situations. So we had planned on this trip for over 2 years, and then 5 weeks into a 7-month trip, it got kiboshed. And so I found myself, my son and I, back in the Pacific Northwest, needing to figure out housing, because we had sold our house to be able to go off and be footloose and fancy free. Also because the community I lived in, you couldn't leave your house. It was the HOA kind of thing. Anyway, and also to help fund the trip so we could just really be free. And so came back, no house. And trip changed, and dealing with the family situation, and I was fit to be tied, honestly. I was like, my sensate self was really, really angry and really concerned and grieving and hurt about all the uncertainty that was going on in my own life, and as certainly as well, you know, dealing with the grief and the intensity of what was going on in the world. So thank goodness my soul brought me totally, you know, front and center back into doing something creative, or else I think my nervous system would have gone to full tilt. And my sensitivity would have gone to full tilt. So I had to have something to be able to cope, honestly, and to get through the chaos that felt like it was all around me and also within me. So I went into, before I knew what I was doing at all, I was ordering stuff online and watching tons of YouTube videos and just eating up everything I could about fluid art. There was no rhyme or reason. I, of course, had been, you know, I loved the art form, but I always kind of thought, to be honest, that's not really art. It's just pouring paint on a canvas and seeing what happens. Oh my gosh, and now that I'm a fluid artist, people have said that to me. And I'm like, oh baby, you just don't even, you don't know what you're talking about. So, so I wanted to say this here as a little kind of like, sorry, I haven't been around a lot, just a little check-in because I've been MIA, and because I wanted to share my passion for, and also suggest to you that you, if you feel so inclined, that you check out fluid art. And yes, I am, you know, I'm gonna be fully visible here. So I am now teaching, and I also have I'm filming, in the process of filming a DIY course, and I'm doing workshops because this has really returned me to my sensate, creative soul self in a way that I never could have planned, wouldn't have expected at all. And I'm so grateful that I now have this really beautiful, literally beautiful, and really sensorily beautiful process. And I totally call it a self-care practice that can really help with your nervous system, that can really bring you back into your senses, because it's highly sensual to pour paint. It's a full contact kind of art form. So, and also I have to say that I do consider myself a, you know, quite driven and ambitious creative, and I always have been. And as a woman also, this has really brought me back to that place of trusting in the mystery, trusting in losing some control and just letting things flow and show up, you know, dropping all the expectations. And yes, I've learned a lot of different techniques, and believe me, I've probably logged in at this point hundreds of hours in doing fluid art, gosh, if not more, because it's really just, it's so nurturing, and it's so soothing, and it's really a beautiful balance between the right and left brain, and anything that brings those two together into a whole brain and a whole heart and a whole soul activity is really like on top of my list. So I encourage you to explore fluid art, whether it's with me or someone else. There's so many YouTube videos. So you'll find, once you start watching videos, whether they're mine or someone else's, especially the ones that don't have, you know, a lot of talking and teaching, because it's like, seriously, it's like fluid art is visual, sensory ASMR. Whether you're doing it or watching it, it's both. So look for that. So let me just, before I hop off here, I wanted to show you a couple pieces. This is a Dutch pour that I did. You know what I think I'm gonna do is go like this. There we go. Good, yeah. So this is a Dutch pour that I did. This is a 15 by, or sorry, I don't know what the size is of this. It's got one layer of glaze. of resin. So but I need to do another one. This piece is still in progress. So there's a Dutch pour. This is a really fun little ring pour. I love these blues. It's like an underwater cavern or a wave or something. Kind of looks like a wave if you look at it this way. So that is a ring pour. Here is another technique, I believe. This was a Wondering cup, an open cup pour. A little fun negative space right there. I know, I'm sorry, my light is shining off of it, but actually let's do like this. Maybe that'll be better. But if I angle this one down, you might then see the ring. But there's that one. I'm gonna put it back because you can't see the colors as much with the light off. And here, lastly, is a dirty cup pour. This one I call Mermaid's Dream. And yes, so those are just a couple examples of some fluid art. And so like I said, I am teaching workshops. I'm also doing private coaching, and I'm also doing commission pieces, which is so freaking exciting that I've got people who are asking me to make one of the kind, which all fluid art is, personal pieces for them and for their loved ones. So really excited about that. So I don't have a website up yet, and that will come, but I really wanted to share this with you and encourage you to explore fluid art as a form of self-care, as a way to help soothe your nervous system, to express your sensitivity and your creativity, to have a place like it has for me powerfully served as something in my life that I'm doing where I am, you know, intentionally, purposefully letting go of control, because you can't control anything in fluid art besides for your technique and of course your energy. And even the technique, there's a certain aspect of it where you just got to go with the flow. So please do check it out, whether it's with me or somebody else. It's a really, I know I'm repeating myself here, but I'm very, very passionate about this. And I really hope that you will give yourself the gift of a fluid art paint pouring practice. Okay, more videos to come, and I will, I'm gonna link in this description for this video, I'll link a where you can get, if you choose to opt into my Soul Pours newsletter or love letter list, I like to call it. Sorry, it's really getting hot in here. And you can get like a freebie little course on supplies that you can get for under $100 to be able to start. It doesn't teach you any techniques or anything of that sort, but it will get you started on what the essential things that you need. So there's a checklist and a little guide, and 2 videos, I think, 3 videos maybe, to be able to get going. Okay, much love, and keep on keeping on. And now, as I keep hearing in my head, you know, Dory from Nemo, I keep thinking, keep pouring. All right, so much love. Bye.